Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. The roster is finally revealed like that. The 53-man roster that will come into the 2024 season for the Steelers is revealed. Now it's an initial roster, so maybe they can add some people on, maybe and make some people out like that. We'll see exactly what happens. But Coach Tomlin still haven't really named like the quarterback starter. I think he mentioned that he's going to name it probably later down the line like that this week. So we'll see what happens with that. Because you know next week. You know, we got next week. We're gonna see what happens right there next week is when the season. I believe next week is the season start, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let me go to next week. Yeah, next week is, of course, when the season get heated up like that. When the season actually starts and stuff, we have the kickoff game with the Chiefs and the Ravens, and then on Sunday you get basically all the games like that. So we'll be very pumped up. But looking into some of the pieces we have on here, Cal Allen made the team. We see Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, of course. Najee Harris as our running backs, Cordarrelle Patterson, Jaylen Warren. I was still a little mad that they got rid of Dajon Edwards. They released him. Cordarrelle Patterson is cool and all, but he's a little older like that. I know he showed a little burst in that preseason game against the Lions. He showed that he still has some speed and stuff, but I feel like it'd be better to keep a guy like Dajon Edwards on the team, a guy who's young, explosive. He led Georgia last year in rushing yards and those touchdowns that he had like that too at Georgia. A dual threat type of player as well. He can catch at the backfield. He can do different things. He can do kick return as well. I feel like keeping him around would have been great. So maybe the Steelers will bring him on the practice squad. I know they said the Steelers are looking to bring Boston Scott on the practice squad. So we'll see exactly what happens. We don't know if Jaylen Warren is going to play week 1 or he's going to be out maybe week 1, week 2-ish because of hamstring injury. So maybe Boston Scott coming into play maybe because of that reason right there. But Dajon Edwards, I think he would have been a nice piece to keep around. So maybe they can bring him back on the practice squad, or maybe they can pick him up. I don't know if he got picked up by anybody else, but it'd be great to have a guy like that still around. Wide receivers, of course, we got Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller made it too as well. Wilson and George Pickens, of course. We seen Quez Watkins get released. We kind of seen that coming. You know, he'll get cut for the team. I wanted to see Dez Fitzpatrick stay around. I don't think he made the team either. Yeah, he got cut too as well. Dez Fitzpatrick, I feel like he was a nice piece, a solid guy as well like that. Could have been around like that. He made some plays here and there. A big body. You know, the Steelers receiver room is a little smaller too in stature. So having a guy like on the outside who can be the outside receiver at X on the outside, who can go up there, be physically imposing, can create some more versatility in your receivers room. Because right now we really only got George Pickens, who's a guy who can go out there and be physical. Of course, Wilson, he has the ability to do that a little bit as well, but everybody else really is kind of like the speed guys. You know, speed guys, just trying to get down the field like that, deep threat. So we'll see how everything pans out a little bit. Okay, what else? We got tight ends, of course, Pat Freiermuth, Nicole Pruitt, and then Darnell Washington. And then tight end size fullback, of course, Connor Hayward, under that spot right there. Offensive lineman, we got Spencer Anderson. He made the roster as well. James Daniels, of course, Truffaut, Zach Frazier, Broderick Jones, Ryan McCollum, Mason McCormick, Dan Moore, and Isaac Siamalu. Okay, so we have a pretty solid depth of offensive linemen. As you guys know, Herbig is on IR now because of the torn rotator cuff, so that hurts a little bit in terms of depth. But overall, still got nice pieces and stuff. And I think that Mason McCormick pick is becoming a better and better pick every week like that. Because you see what he's been playing. He played in preseason, what he did in training camp. I think he might be utilized too as well. As you guys know, offensive linemen, they get injured a lot. They get injured a lot like that, especially the guys up front who getting all of the physical punishment. So it's good to have good depth, you know, especially interior linemen, because those guys can play, you know, like different positions like inside and stuff as well. What's next? Defensive, we got, of course, Montravius Adams. I think he looked pretty good in preseason too as well. Keanu Benton, of course, looks pretty good as well. Cameron Hayward, DeMarvin Leal, who's going to be, I think he's still considered a defensive lineman. But they might have him on the outside a little bit too as an outside linebacker, so we'll see him move around here and there. Also Logan Lee, of course, Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Lowry, and Larry Ogunjobi, of course. Then linebackers, we got Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith, Tyler Makovich, and then we got Patrick Queen, of course, Landon Roberts, Mark Robinson, T.J. Watt, and Peyton Wilson. Our linebacker room was very good. You know, last year we struggled at that. Because I remember we had to bring back Miles Jack. He was retired, had to bring him out of retirement, bring him back to get on our team. And there was other players too we had, like Mark Robinson. He's cool and all, but he was a running back at first. Got converted to linebacker. And then all these different other pieces we had, like Quan Alexander, remember he tore his, I think, Achilles, ACL. He was playing pretty good, but he tore his ACL. Cole Holcomb, same thing. Remember the following week, they both had injuries that was like season-ending injuries, the back-to-back weeks like that. So our linebacker room was like depleted. But this year we have a lot of depth in the linebacker room. So I think having these guys like Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson's, the Landon Roberts, the Mark Robinsons, these different pieces we have, I feel like it's going to open up a lot. We can keep guys fresh, keep guys here and there out, and a lot of these guys can do multiple things, not just one-dimensional. They can go out there and they can cover guys in a little bit. They can side on the sideline, they're good and run support as well. So our linebacker room has improved a lot this year. What else we have? Defensive backs. Benny Bishop Jr. Made the team. Deshaun Elliott, of course. Jalen Elliott. Minka Fitzpatrick. Dante Jackson. DeMonte Casey. Miles Killebrew. Joey Porter Jr. Darius Rush. And Corey Trice Jr. And of course, the Wizard of Oz, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And then we got the punter, Cameron Johnson, of course. And then Christian Kuntz, long snapper. You know, so we have a pretty good roster right there. I know I would like us to add some more size, of course, in the receiver room. Maybe they might do that a little bit. They might sign some guys on the practice squad like that and keep some guys around like that just in case. But overall, the roster is nice. We're gonna see who is like the starters. Like when the starter list come out like that, when they do the full depth chart and be like, okay, this is a starter for this week, this is a starter for that week, like that. This is gonna be our guy for the future. So I think the Steelers most likely to name that. I don't know. Probably maybe he said this week, so we'll see. Maybe it's tomorrow, or maybe it's Thursday or something like that. Maybe it's the end of the week. We'll see what Coach Tomlin does, and then starting QB, and then we'll see the rest of the depth chart as well like that. We kind of already know the other ones. The main thing we're kind of just focusing on, of course, is the quarterback. I think who's gonna be a starter. Now I think everybody is probably thinking Russell Wilson the most likely because he's a veteran presence. You know, we know what he's done in his career like that. So like him being the starter in this point of our kind of where our team is at, a veteran presence out there is kind of easier to transition than trying to see if Justin Fields can go out there and then try to get better and improve on the fly as the season go on. I think it'd be better to start Russ too, because if Russ mess up, you can always pull him out. Fields in, and Fields can give you a spark like that. So we'll see exactly what is done, but this is what I have for today's video. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. If anything happens, if they do name the quarterback thing and I'm not able to make the video, come go to the game tonight. The basketball game, the NBA, I think it's the Aces and the Wings. So if I'm not able to make it, I'll make it as soon as I get back like that. So, but I think most likely Coach Tomlin will probably name the starter, you know, probably later this week like that. We'll see. But I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.